the citizens went there first. They knew if they could get a hold of that, there was no stopping them. It was significance. The enemy knows that if you're building something, the enemy knows that if you're coming after him, the enemy knows if you're coming against him, and what you're going to do is going to kick him in the jaw, you're going after him. You're doing something significant. Nobody fights what has no impact. So when resistance shows up, don't assume that you're off track. So oftentimes as human beings, resistance shows up and we're like, God, something's got to be wrong. Why is it always got to be wrong? Why is it always got to be wrong? When resistance shows up, maybe it's right. Maybe you're right where you need to be in your calling. Maybe when resistance showed up with Nehemiah for the last 2 weeks as he was building that wall, he was right where God called him to be. When resistance shows up in your calling, you're right where God wants you to be. Maybe you're standing right in the center of God's will. Opposition is often the evidence that your assignment matters. What God has called you to matters. The calling in your life, the pushback that you're feeling, it matters. Because you know why? God has called you to it. Today, some of you may have mistaken opposition as a sign to quit. White flag. I surrender. I give up. A little bit of opposition. I quit. Throw in the towel. Can you imagine if some of the greats like Johnny Unitas, if you're a big Baltimore football fan, can you imagine if Johnny Unitas on the first injury said, I'm done?